Boom shakalaka, today's video, I'm joined by Alexander Lorenzo. In this video, we'll be discussing why you should get started as a crypto influencer, also how to survive if the market goes up as well as if the market goes down, and how to safely get double-digit gains on your crypto. You'll definitely want to stay tuned.
Boom shakalaka, crypto
Boom
love.
shakalaka, what's going on, man?
Yeah, we're just going to be talking about the market, Bitcoin, what's going on right now. I mean, like you were saying before we hopped on here, there's a lot of indecision. People are kind of freaking out. So maybe we can make people feel a little bit more comfortable in the cryptocurrency space, just like you used to make me feel comfortable back in the 2016, 2017 cycles. I've been watching you for a long time.
Dude, I feel like if you've made it through since like 2016, 2017, when everything bled out 99%, you're like, you just calculate now. You're like, if everything goes down 99%, where am I? Okay, I'll survive. And then let's move on.
Honestly, that's how I feel. If you stay in this market for like 3 to 4 years, it's literally life-changing wealth, no matter which way you cut it. You could literally buy the exact top at the exact wrong time in 2017, and you'd be in profit right now, some serious profit. So it's just a waiting game for a lot of people. I try to time the markets a little bit, but it's not really about timing the markets. It's about time in the markets, right? That's like the most important thing in the education that you experience and all this. You have to learn macroeconomics. You have to learn technical analysis. There's so many skills that you generate, which brings me back to, when I used to watch you on a YouTube channel and you used to teach all these things. And now literally, I'm at the point where I can teach other people. If there was a full bear cycle, just to kind of relay the topic, because I like talking about this. If there was a full bear cycle, do you think it would be smart, the guys that are in crypto, to make like a YouTube channel or do some type of marketing effort?
Yeah, I think definitely getting on YouTube or some type of social platform, because I never considered that I'd be a YouTuber. I'm not sure about yourself, if you ever thought you'd be a YouTuber. Yeah, exactly. We're just guys who started recording and putting it online, and then it opens up doors of opportunity, which is really cool. And you get, when I started doing it, I was working 60 hours a week and then making YouTube videos every day on top of it. And that's like, but you grind initially and then it gets easier, and it's totally worth it, because if it's something you're passionate about. And not only that, like I watched Carl the Moon talking about why he got into crypto one time, and he's like, I went where the money was. Like that's basically it. Like there's the money. If there's gonna be an easy way to get rich, that's gonna be it. So that's where he went. And it's smart, because if you want to make money, go where the money is.
Yeah. So where would you say the smart money is going right now?
It's tricky, because it's become a very large ecosystem. Like I think back to like 3 years ago, when Willy Woo had that chart where Bitcoin keeps going up and all the altcoins go down. And that was basically it. Like there was nothing more to the market. It was basically, there's Bitcoin. Everything else it just goes down. So, but now there's NFTs, there's DeFi, there's DAOs, there's Web 3.0. So I actually think there's going to be a lot of different plays, but I still see a lot of smart, larger, wealthier investors still just holding Bitcoin, because there's still ever only going to be 21 million. And like, yes, you can supplement your portfolio with a CryptoPunk, because there's only 10,000 of them. But like Bitcoin is a lot more fungible than a CryptoPunk. So you'll always be able to sell Bitcoin, whereas at least my thoughts on always being able to sell a CryptoPunk, maybe or maybe not.
I agree. I think Bitcoin has obviously it's like it has the liquidity. It has like everything, right? The institutional adoption. And I think it's easier for a millionaire or somebody that's like extremely wealthy to hold on to something like Bitcoin, because they know they're going to get out. The liquidity is there, right? We had the Willy Woo chart. That's a really important chart. It was a pivotal. So if you guys don't know, to the followers that are watching this, basically it calculates all the altcoins in comparison to Bitcoin by percentage gains. So if you look at the chart, you can see that most altcoins were dying in compared to Bitcoin. And what you're saying is that the market got so big that you think it's probably going to change a little bit, right?
I don't think it's going to change that much. I just think we're in the part of the market where if you did that chart right now, you would be like, well, Solana clearly is outdoing Bitcoin. And you're like, well, so right now we're in the phase of the market where there are coins that are clearly outdoing Bitcoin. But if we wait for a bear market, Bitcoin will still be the only one continuing to go up. And I mean, there's going to be a severe bleed out of altcoins. And this is one thing that scares me just a little bit, is with all these big players getting into the market now, crypto's not really anymore about like the younger tech savvy guys. It's a lot wealthier people getting into it. Like, I mean, I know that Binance is in the crypto industry, but they just bought 43,000 Bitcoin at $43,000. So like, they're buying it, but their time frame is completely different from most retail traders. Like most retail traders, the price goes down for a month and they're selling because they're like, this is going to zero. And then they completely capitulate, they'll be out of the market. Whereas Binance buys it because they're like, hey, we're going to be around 10 years from now. It's going to be $430,000. We just got these 43,000 at a steep discount.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely. You can see that with the manipulation, right? Like these large candlesticks and the dips, right? We didn't really have that in 2017. It was more, I don't know if you want to call it natural, but definitely institutions are doing something now. But go ahead.
And the leverage traders, we didn't have that either at all. And so it's not like, leverage is just dangerous for 99% of traders. Whereas, there are a few people who know how to do it, but they're the ones making the money and the rest of us suffer from it. And that's causing a lot of shift in the markets more quickly than people expect, because we get these flash wicks from people just getting liquidated.
I agree. I've said too on my channel a lot. I really believe that, it's I don't know, it's pretty obvious, but like, the decrease of issuance or the Bitcoin halving kind of like starts the market. And then we have like retail come in and just get destroyed by the whales, like the leverage trading and stuff like that. So like the NFT metaverse maybe trend that's maybe happening right now kind of ends the market. So it's kind of like signaling to me and my channel, what I'm doing is like, hey, look, we're trying to get this last run with the altcoins and then maybe like cash out. And then exactly what you said, if the market goes into a full on bear run, I think Bitcoin is definitely going to hold up the most by percentage gains. So it's always been in my strategy to accumulate more Satoshis. Is that the same for you?
Yeah, definitely. Just try and get as much as you can. I still think, when I got into crypto, a friend of mine told me if you have one Bitcoin, you'll be set for life. And at that time, a Bitcoin was a little less than $2,000. And I was like, well, that's a deal. I'll do that. And so, but, it's just something where I still think one Bitcoin, you'll be set for life, because people can't comprehend exponential functions. They just simply can't comprehend compound interest. Because if we could, we wouldn't use credit cards and we'd all be investing from the day we were born. But people just don't get like the giant spike at the end, which is what we're going to see with the decrease of Bitcoin supply. We're going to see that happening, but it's just like we're still in like the kind of short, narrow part before it actually takes off. So we just got to wait for it.
Cool. So what have you been preaching on your channel? I watched a couple of videos. I know you've been showing some bullish charts and stuff like that in recent history and talking a lot about Bitcoin. What do you see for Bitcoin?
So honestly, myself, I'm not sure, because I love looking at the on-chain data, and all of the on-chain data looks probably the most bullish it's ever been. Like we're at the same place we were back when Bitcoin was $30,000 back in July. We're at the same place it was at the COVID bottom in 2020. So like everything is looking great on chain, but there's also like a lot of still like retail FOMO, which leads to extreme FUD in the markets. And that, I think that for that reason, I kind of preach patience, because if you're not you have to be serious with yourself that things could go down 90%. There's really like no way to sugarcoat it. It's possible. I hope it doesn't. It would be extremely unlikely for Bitcoin to get below $20,000. Like this would be a first time ever for Bitcoin to break an all-time high going back down. But anything's possible. However, I like to look at it with a 10-year plus time frame, because as an investor, if you look shorter than 10 years, you're kind of like handicapping yourself. So a 10-year time frame, almost all the Bitcoin is going to be mined by that point. Over 95% of it will be mined by that point. Chances we're going to have another halving or two in that time frame, And it's only, I mean, mass adoption literally just started this past year. And still, I don't know, I would guess less than 25% of the people who have access to banking and money are actually involved in cryptocurrencies. So there's still a lot of mass adoption left to go. So I think overall the picture is very bright, but we may experience a little pain first.
Yeah. So for specifics on my channel, I'm thinking end of January. It's kind of playing out like a similar fractal to what we saw in May, with that large kind of manipulation candlestick down with the leverage liquidations and all that. And I think it's just playing out in a smaller time frame. I think personally, the metaverse might be a confirmed trend. You can't really say it's confirmed right now, but it looks like it really is. So I think that might help with the last leg. That's what we're preaching here. January, end of January, maybe we get this last leg. I know a lot of people are saying this, but I really do think with the data and what we've been talking about with the metaverse, it's a perfect retail playground. It's like literally perfect, right? Like the NFTs are clearly doing even well, like right now, kind of like in the past week or two. And then this is obviously easy to integrate into a metaverse, right? So that's what we've been talking about. I think maybe in the next couple of months we see one more hoorah, like everybody was saying, and then I think exactly what you said. We're gonna have maybe like the market coming down. Like people have to understand that it can drop 90%. It's done it every single time, and this is not different. And like you said, people are thinking on longer time frames. Like people that understand crypto with a lot of money, they don't care about 1 year. They care about. So they'll do everything in their power to, if anything, they want it at a cheaper price, right? So they're gonna bring the price down and try to accumulate where people are panicking and freaking out. So I always tell people, invest in your education, think about it long term, think about 3 years, man. Like you could change your life in 3 years. Look at me, right? It's been 3 years, and I changed my life, right? I was on the other receiving end, watching YouTube videos, learning crypto, and I made millions of dollars, before the age of 27, right? So it's like who. Like didn't Jeff Bezos make his first million when he was like 33 years old or something like that? It's like you can get rich now very fast. Fast is different to everybody, but it's usually 3 to 5 years, right? 3 to 5 years, I would say. Cool.
Yeah, dude. I was the same way. I was watching Becker make SEO videos back like 10, 15 years ago. And now here he is making crypto videos. A new entrant into the space. But yeah, going back to Bitcoin price. So I think there's like a couple areas, at least for me, because right now we're in this sideways area that doesn't tell me much of anything that's going on. So I think if we get to $30,000 and go below that, then I'm definitely bearish for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, because we have a double top confirmed and it could go way down. But getting above 53, that would be somewhat bullish. But right now we've just been kind of in this sideways area. The other thing, so if we do go bullish, because I don't want to look at the bearish scenario, we all know what that would look like. But if we go bullish, so like we had Bitcoin hit 60, Bitcoin hit like 65, Bitcoin hit 70, and then now everybody's going to be if it does head up in that area, Bitcoin doesn't like to repeat itself 3 times, I've noticed. So like it'll either blow through or it'll make it to like barely 60, and then that'll start the bear market because everybody will be selling before the other person is selling. So I think that thinking now what your strategy is for both scenarios, because right now we're in a sideways market. Nobody knows what's going to happen. But what's your strategy for if Bitcoin hits $30,000? What's your strategy for if Bitcoin hits above $53,000? And then actually executing on that strategy.
Yeah. So I would like to answer that. So like I've been thinking a lot about that. I think right now with this layer 2 kind of multiverse and DeFi, it's been an opportunity for yield that we've never seen before. I mean, I was trading on Tron when that was like the DApp of choice or the DApp platform of choice. And, now I went from like telling people about Ethereum and $150 transaction fees into the liquidity pool and 150 out. And now we see like layer 2s doing very well. And I think this is a very big opportunity. Like this is bigger than people think. And I think, the NFTs and the metaverse is taking away from it. But like through the bear run, like I can easily get 35% APY. And that's like super conservative. There's other people, especially if you have like less than 50 grand. Like if you're a multimillionaire, that's a different scenario. You can't get like 35% on like, $20 million. But, the fact that you can move into these liquidity pools for less than $1 and move out, is an opportunity we never had before. And, I think that DeFi will do very well during the bear one. At least for, you can do stable coin yield strategies. You can even the crypto you have, you could leverage it. So you don't have to sell through the bear run, because that's a big problem for a lot of people is they don't have the cash flow. They went full-time crypto. It happened to me. I went full-time crypto in 2017. Bear market hits. I have no money to pay bills. I have to sell crypto, right? And the one thing you don't want to do is sell during a bear run. So you have these like LUSD opportunities where you could leverage, instead of selling it, just like MicroStrategy, you take a loan out on it, right? So I just feel like even if we go into a bear run, there's still no better investment vehicle. Like what else are you going to invest in? Like, real estate, stocks, like you're not going to get 35%. Like we're going to get index investing for 7% a year. You know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter as long as you stay in cryptocurrency for a long period of time, just kind of like we were talking about before, it doesn't matter. I did want to add on that on-chain metrics, because I've been doing some deep investigation. I've been taking on-chain metrics a little bit more serious. I think the reason why I look so bullish is because it can't be tampered with. If you think about it, especially it depends on what you're looking at, because some of them can, but you're tracking every address, like on Bitcoin, right? And you're tracking these specific indicators that people can't really manipulate. Technical analysis, that's a whole nother topic of discussion. If you guys want to be a TA expert, go to tradingview.com, click Bitcoin, you'll see the top TA chart of the day, right? And if I'm a whale, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to the top financial website in the world, which is, CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, and TradingView, right? These are the top cryptocurrency financial websites. And I'm going to invalidate everybody's thoughts, right? So I think on-chain metrics, the reason why it looks so bullish is because it's just like this new data class that's very, very new that people are innovating on. And I think it's harder to manipulate. So personally, like I really do think, like, at least for the next 3 to 6 months, we're still going to be in a bull run. And then I think it's just a prolonged cycle. And then I'll reevaluate if the market's going to come down. And that's just my thoughts on that.
So what are you personally looking at to see when we're getting close to a top? Do you use any charts?
Yeah, so I use a combination of a lot of different things, but I will say though, it's weird, but I like more of like sentiment. I think I'm like more of a psychological person, and maybe it's because I'm a YouTuber and it's like the marketing thing, right? I think that's a big there's this book I read. It's called Narrative Investing, and I typically with bigger cycles I look at that. So like right now, that's why I was saying kind of original back to my thesis. I believe that metaverse is still a thing. I went to the CES conference and just recently Vegas. And basically they're all harping on metaverse. They had nothing to do with the metaverse. There's all these tech companies, nothing to do with it, but they're just using this buzzword just to for good marketing and stuff like that. So clearly the reason why they're using it is because people, they want it, and it's going to be probably a trend. So from narrative investing, I'm looking at, okay, people are probably going to jump in on the metaverse. Facebook is pushing it now for a reason. They probably think something's happening with it. They're going to keep pushing it. And then people are going to move in because of that reason into cryptocurrency. And then, this will probably cause that last cycle, right? This will all of these new people. Now we could get specific. We could look into data science charts and stuff like that. But I think that's probably the biggest reason for my decision of the top. I want to see that kind of like euphoria, all these new people coming in, and my grandma talking about Bitcoin, and then I'll think about selling a little bit more.
I mean, you're so spot on with the sentiment thing, because I do a lot of work at a co-working space, and I literally remember the top back in, what was it, January or February something. I was just starting at a new one, and so I was introducing myself to people, and I'm like, "What do you do?" They're like, "Oh, I'm a crypto trader," and I was just like, And there were 5 people working there who were crypto traders. I was like,
Yeah, we're getting to that point. Everybody's a metaverse creator now, right? Everybody got metaverse. Right? Yeah, so absolutely. maybe that called the top, but I think we still have a little bit of gas and take. I've been investing like it too. I've been investing it. So I put my money where my mouth is. I haven't really taken too much profit, just to pay a little stuff, but I've been investing, leveraging up, not leveraging like crazy, but kind of taking loans out and buying some more crypto and stuff like that. What have you been doing with your portfolio and stuff?
So the first thing is I just wanted to touch on the two charts that I look at to kind of signal the top. So the one is the pi cycle top chart, That one's been really accurate. And then the kind of index of a whole bunch of top charts, cbbi.info, that's a really good one because it takes a look at like 11 different indicators and it's pretty accurate. Right now it's like 40 some percent. So we're not even close to a top. But you know, I'm basically the same place that you are. I'm definitely not selling any cryptocurrency. Basically what I've been doing over the past year is just basically selling enough into stable coins or cash or something like that so I can survive until the next bull run. That's basically been my strategy, you know. So that's the
Yeah, I
way
think a lot of people when they're like, YouTubers are always buying and stuff like that, they think that we're playing around, but it's like the best strategy. It really is.
Oh
If you
yeah,
just
all I
wait,
do is buy as much as I can. There's no
you just
the
yeah, you buy as much as you can, you build your cash flow. Buy as much as you can, build your cash flow. It's that simple, and that's why I kind of like started off in the beginning. It's like, look, we go into a bear run, guys. Put your will, your might behind this, right? If you really love crypto and you're really in for the long run, tell someone about it. Tell 10 people. Tell 50 people. Eventually, those 50 people follow you because they think you're an expert. Eventually, that 50 people turns into 2,000. And then next thing you know, you have a Twitter account. You don't even have to put your face if you don't want to. You can go anonymous at this point, right? And you have a Twitter account and you don't even have to make videos like we do. I mean, I think I make videos because of my personality type, but you can make 1 million followers on Twitter and get paid crazy amounts of money, like seriously, by just typing, right? So I think that's the reason why Michael Saylor, like, I don't think he needs to be a marketer, but go on his Twitter, right? Like everyone in crypto, I think has an obligation to educate others. Like I don't care what type of crypto trader you are, that is like the one factor that's missing is just more education because it's like a hard learning curve. It really is. You have to learn a lot. So it's everybody's obligation. If you just take that more serious, right, and become like a serious educator, number one, you're pumping your own bags, of course, right? You're spreading the good word of crypto. And number two, you're building cash flow to buy the dip, like all of us, right? Because I could buy the dip, with all of my cash flow from YouTube and my business I created, right? And when the top does come in, you'll have that much more crypto. So that was one thing that I learned in 2017 is like, look, you could trade all day, but like, why don't you create value in the market, right? Like create something. And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's well put, is creating value, because I think we're coming to an age where infinite value or like abundance is really possible, because you can literally take a computer and sit down in front of it and impact the lives of so many people. And it really is kind of a miracle of a place that we're in nowadays where we're able to do that.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree.
Yeah.
Anyone can make a business nowadays. You just need a laptop, a microphone, and you're good to go. All right, cool.
Absolutely.
Did you have any comments or concerns, thoughts you wanted to share before we conclude this?
No, I think we're doing pretty good. I like your strategies there. I'm actually going to start looking more for some more sentiment based things that I can look for to kind of add to the top, because I know there's like the Bitcoin search term on Google, but now you also got to look at like the DeFi search term and the NFT search term and metaverse and Web 3.0. But yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah. And I'm definitely search terms a good one. Also, I think like it's like multiple things, right? You could look on Twitter for search terms as well. You can look on like SEO. There's like SEO websites you can use as well. So you could hit it from like every perspective. But yeah, Google is like the biggest one. And exactly what he said: the metaverse, NFT, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Like look at those really. And then you could do the Web3 thing because that's like recently coming out. So if you look at that, it's kind of like sentiment. So I agree with that one. Cool. I don't really have any final thoughts. Thanks for having me on your channel. I appreciate everything you do and spreading the good word of cryptocurrency, man. I've been watching you for a long time. Appreciate you.
Dude, thanks so much. It was great to get together.